Good morning, or actually almost afternoon. It's time for our daily lectionary reading for Tuesday, August 17th. So today we have Psalm 101, we have 1 Kings 7, 1 to 12, and then we go to Acts 7, 9 to 16. So Psalm 101, which did we start? We started that yesterday, and we've got one more day with that. Is a sovereign's pledge of integrity and justice. I will sing of loyalty and justice. To you, O Lord, I will sing. I will study the way that is blameless. When shall I attain it? I will walk with integrity of heart within my house. I will not set before my eyes anything that is base. I hate the work of those who fall away. It shall not cling to me. Perverseness of heart shall be far from me. I will know nothing of evil. One who secretly slanders a neighbor I will destroy. A haughty look and an arrogant heart I will not tolerate. I will look with favor on the faithful in the land so that they may live with me. And whoever walks in a way that is blameless shall minister to me. No one who practices deceit shall remain in my house. No one who utters lies shall continue in my presence. Morning by morning I will destroy all the wicked in the land, cutting off all evildoers from the city of the Lord. Let's see. Yesterday we talked about Solomon and the temple. Today we're talking about Solomon's palace and other buildings. We're talking about Solomon's building projects. And he had these wonderful building projects. The palace, the temple was just a marvel. I think we kind of need to keep in mind that he did it with slave labor. He conscripted mostly the foreigners in the land, those who were non-Jews, but even some Jews were conscripted into it. And so it was built with slavery and forced labor. So there's kind of a dark side to some of these marvelous building projects were done on the backs of people who didn't have a choice. And I think that is one modern trend I'm kind of glad we have. I think it gives us a more realistic picture, because it's fine to marvel at the wonders that were built, but keep in mind they came at a terrible cost. The taxation to raise the money, the forced labor, the slavery that was used to build it. We need to keep those things in mind, so we get a more rounded picture, more balanced picture. And I think that's just generally true with any time we look at history, whether it's scriptural, whether it's biblical history, or looking at, say, the history of our country. We need to keep that balanced view. We need to look at the whole picture. All right, anyway. So we're chapter 7, 1 Kings 7. Solomon was building his own house 13 years, and he finished his entire house. He built the house of the forest of the Lebanon, 100 cubits long. Remember, a cubit is here to here, about a foot and a half. 50 cubits wide and 30 cubits high, built on 4 rows of cedar pillars with cedar beams on the pillars. And it was roofed with cedar on the 45 rafters, 15 in each row, which were on the pillars. And there were window frames in the 3 rows facing each other in the 3 rows. All the doorways and doorposts had 4-sided frames opposite facing each other in the 3 rows. He made the hall of pillars 50 cubits long and 30 cubits wide. And there was a porch in front with pillars and a canopy in front of them. He made the hall of the throne where he was to pronounce judgment the hall of justice, covered with cedar from floor to floor. His own house, where he would reside in the other court back of the hall, was of the same construction. Solomon also made a house like this hall for Pharaoh's daughter, whom he had taken in marriage. All these were made with costly stones, cut according to measure, sawed with saws back and forth from the foundation to the coping, and from the outside to the great court. The foundation was of costly stones, huge stones, stones of 8 and 10 cubits. And there were costly stones above, cut to measure, and cedar wood. And the great court had 3 courses. of dressed stone to one layer of cedar beams all around, and so had the inner court of the house of the Lord and the vestibule of the house. I'll see if I can find a picture, an artist's rendering of this to post on Facebook. That and maybe the temple. Those could be interesting things. All right. Acts 7, 9-16. The patriarchs, jealous of Joseph, sold him into Egypt, but God was with him and rescued him from all his afflictions and enabled him to win favor and to show wisdom when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt, who appointed him ruler over Egypt and over all his household. Now there came a famine throughout Egypt and Canaan, and great suffering, and our ancestors could find no food. But when Jacob heard there was grain in Egypt, he sent our ancestors there on their first visit. And on the second visit, Joseph made himself known to his brothers, and Joseph's family became known to Pharaoh. And then Joseph sent and invited his father Jacob and all his relatives to come to him, 75 in all. So Jacob went down to Egypt, and he himself died there, as well as our ancestors. And their bodies were brought back to Shechem and laid in the tomb that Abraham had bought for a sum of silver from the same sons of Hamor in Shechem. And that is our excuse me, our lectionary reading for Tuesday, August 17th. I'll see you tomorrow.